Hey everyone, it's me, Jason. I am going to show you how I do an infusion set change with my MiniMed Insulin Pump. First of all, I'm going to take the reservoir, comes in a package like this. I'm going to open the reservoir and get it out. So it kind of looks like this. This blue part drops over the top of the insulin, and then you turn it upside down to pull the insulin into the reservoir. So I'll do that first. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take the old reservoir out of the pump, and I am going to, if you can see this, go to reservoir and set, press act, and then I'm going to reservoir setup. I'm going to press act, and it says disconnect tubing from body, remove reservoir from pump, and then press act. So now, if you can see inside, that little piston like is rewinding. Okay, so while that's going on, I'm going to take an alcohol pad and I'm going to clean the top of the insulin vial. That way, nothing grungy will get in there. Okay, so now I'm going to take the reservoir. I'm going to pull back the syringe portion, and I'm going to compress the reservoir, meaning I'm going to push all of that air down into the insulin vial. Now as I turn it upside down, you can see the pressure that I put in there will naturally pull the insulin into the reservoir. But I'm going to kind of help it along for time's sake. So now that I've got the insulin in there, I'm going to look and see if I got any bubbles. I'm going to tap the bubbles and push them back up into the vial. Then I'm going to disconnect it from the insulin. So I'm done with that part. This is ready to go. I'm going to open up the quick set infusion set. And you'll see a lot of tubing. This part is actually the adhesive that holds it into your stomach, and this part is what the reservoir connects to. And you see, if you can see, I have a bubble in the reservoir. This is also my chance to get that bubble out. When I put the top on and twist and lock it into place, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the screen, but I'm going to slowly push the insulin up into the tubing. And when I see that it's gotten far enough up the tubing, I can disconnect this altogether. Now, I take the pump, which has been rewound, I stick in the reservoir and the tubing, and I twist until it locks in a 90-degree angle. And at this point, I like to take well, I've misplaced it right now, but I like to put the lock back on to make sure this doesn't come back out. But then I press act. It says rewind complete, place and lock reservoir and pump, then press act, which I've done. So now I'm going to press act, and it says fill tubing. Are you disconnected? I say yes. So now I'm going to try to put this to where you can see. I'm going to hold down the act button until I see drops of insulin come out from the needle, which is inside this blue part. Did you see it? Okay. Did I see drops? Yes. Now it says fill cannula, connect set to body, act to fill, escape to skip. So what I'm going to do, this is the quick starter. What you do is you put this part into here, you pull it back, and then you press both buttons on the side, and it shoots it into your stomach. So for somebody that doesn't want to do this, with their hands, this is great. So you push this in, and I push down a good bit just to make sure it locks. So when I know that it's locked, I can turn it upside down and it won't fall out. I remove the adhesive strips. So now what you're seeing there is the adhesive part, and then this is the guard for the needle. So I'm going to push in there just a little bit more to make sure that it stays, in there. I push down, I unscrew this, exposing the needle, and then I find the spot where I want to put it, and pushing both the buttons, I push down the center and pull this off. So now the needle is actually inside the skin, and the plastic tube that delivers the insulin is inside that needle. So now I can pull the needle out. So that is the needle, and then I close it up, make sure it locks, that way it won't hurt anybody. Then I press act to fill the cannula, that's the little plastic piece that's inside of me. So I press act to fill. It'll say 0.5 units for the size that I'm using. So I press act. And you can see it is delivering the insulin into the cannula. There it's beeped to let me know that it's ready to go. So now, when I'm ready to eat, I would press B for bolus. I would enter in my blood sugar. Let's say my blood sugar is 124. I enter 124, act. And let's say I'm eating a small roll. So 15 grams of carbohydrates. And I press act. It says the estimate total of insulin would be 3.8 units of insulin for that 15 grams of carbohydrate, and the correction for my blood sugar that's 124, because my pump is set to keep my blood sugar in a certain range. So I press act again, and it says 3.8 units will be delivered, and I press act, and it begins delivering that insulin through the cannula into my fat belly. But just to show you how it works, and to show my sister how it works, since she's going to be getting one hopefully soon too. So that's all, and I hope you're having a great day.